Let me tell you something. I'm a real dude. I'll give you real answers. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. BJ Flores is Jake Paul's coach. For BJ's last scheduled fight against Otto Wallen, I was BJ's coach. BJ Flores and I go way back from the 90s. Like I said, we've been friends forever. We used to spar. We're both competitive fighting. And I trained BJ for his last few fights. BJ called me in to oversee Jake Paul, his first fight with BJ, and tell me what I saw, what I thought. Talk to Jake Paul a little bit after sparring, give him your little pointers, all of that. So I was in the camp with Jake Paul for this Nate Robinson fight. On some of the videos where pre-Nate Robinson fight, Jake Paul knocking people out, I was the one refereeing those videos. You see the black dude with the dreadlocks running in there. That's me. So I was in camp with Jake Paul. And all I will tell you is that I know what's going to happen in the Ben Askren. Jake's knocking him out for sure. And it's not going Ben or mixed martial artist or anything like that. We know Ben's a proven champion, a legitimate fighter, legitimate mixed martial artist, a great wrestler. But man, in a boxing fight, I see Jake Paul knock out about 5 different dudes in the gym. 2 of them I brought. And the 2 guys I brought were both MMA fighters, and they weren't bad MMA fighters. So I'm not going to divulge who they were, but they weren't bad MMA fighters. Before they were going to spar with Jake Paul, in my mind, I thought it would be pretty much easy work for them.
Yeah.
I thought that the guys I brought was going to beat him up. And Jake stopped them both. And not guys that I trained, but guys I know I called and set up the sparring and all of this. And Jake stopped them both. And that's when I started saying, holy shit, Jake Paul ain't just an internet celebrity. He got some boxing in him. Not saying he'll beat a world champion boxer or nothing like that, but he'll beat a guy who's not a good boxer for sure. And I don't think Ben is a good boxer. We know Ben's history. We know he's a champion and been a champion on many different levels. But the art of boxing is a little different. Jake Paul, he's running the mountains. He's training. He's sparring with legitimate guys. He's doing everything that every professional boxer that I know has done. He had 3 title defenses before losing the WBA light heavyweight title to Bernard Hopkins. I know about boxing, and Jake Paul can box. He can box. Good right hand, really good jab, and that's all it's going to take to stop Ben. It's going to take a good jab and a good right hand. You know what I mean? That's it. Jake Paul's winning that fight. He's a better boxer.
And you work with Ngannou. What other question is there about your qualifications? Zero at all.
Yes. Yeah, but that's the thing. In my mind, I would think this guy's an internet guy with only 2 fights. There's no way he can win. But he's fighting a wrestler. He's fighting an MMA. Boxing is just different. And I know Ben plans on jamming him, holding him, crowding him, clinching him, and all of that. But at some point, the referee breaks you and spreads you apart. And that's where that jab and that laser right hand that Jake Paul is throwing is gonna have an effect. I can't see Ben grappling and dirty boxing for 6 rounds or 8 straight rounds, however long it's going to go. And Jake Paul, I see him doing what he did to Nate Robinson, catching with a right hand and getting them up out of there. And last thing, BJ Flores is a very intelligent coach, a very intelligent dude. I know he's going to have Jake Paul working them body shots and stuff like that for when Ben tries to go in the clinch, drop levels and hit that body real hard, working with the uppercut. All that's going to come. I can't see Ben winning the fight, though I hate to say that because Ben's a nice guy. He reminds me of Napoleon Dynamite that can fight, but Jake Paul's getting that. If you're not a real fighter, you're not going to beat Jake Paul. No, excuse me. If you're not a real boxer, because he's a fighter, but if you're not a real boxer, you're not going to beat Jake Paul in a boxing match.